Welcome to False Summit, a story-based podcast about tales, trails, and epic fails. I'm Octavia.
And I'm Em.
For those of you just joining, we are going to bring you 2 stories and our thoughts on the tales, ending with Trail Mix, where Em will bring you 3 songs, and then Trail Etiquette and Other Shit by me. How you doing today, Em?
I'm doing okay. The weather segment of the day.
Oh, weather segment. Yeah, we got snow, right?
We got snow yesterday.
Yeah.
And now it is gray.
Yeah.
Out.
Gray and gloomy.
And no sun.
There was sun this morning, though.
Yeah, but it's cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
The cloudy. Yeah.
Do you remember that book?
Of course. I like the movie, too.
Yeah, but the book was way better.
Well, the book was, more like, that's all you had when I was a kid. There was no movie.
Classic.
Yeah. Are you okay over there?
Yeah.
Rocking around the Christmas tree?
Rocking around the Christmas tree. Have a happy holiday. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I wanted to discuss the new show that we just started watching because it's so good.
Which one?
The Women in Blue, the Spanish one.
It is so good.
Yes.
I love it. And it's like, who did it?
I don't know.
It's a murder mystery.
It's a murder mystery. It's about, it's based on true events.
You said that. I don't know that to be true.
I saw it on the beginning of one of the episodes you weren't paying attention to.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if you saw it, then you saw it?
I did.
Are you questioning that?
Well, I mean, it's, back in the day before women were allowed to be police officers. And then in Mexico, they had started this initiative to have women as police officers, lady police officers, and did it was like an experiment.
Oh, yeah. So
before its time, I think. What year was it?
It's based in the 1970s, but it does say here, because I just looked it up, it is based on a true story, specifically the creation of Mexico's first the first female police force in the 1970s, where a group of women joined the force only to discover they were being used as a publicity stunt to distract from a serial killer on the loose. The series explores the challenges they face while navigating a deeply patriarchal police system and society at large.
So can you look up when America first had women on the police force?
Women began working as police officers in the United States in the 1890s.
Oh, really?
The first woman to be regularly assigned as a police officer in the United States was Alice Stebbins Wells in 1910.
Well, that actually really surprises me because I just assumed that male patriarchy would not allow. I figured America would be behind every other country.
No.
When it came to women's rights.
Women's rights are just behind in most places.
Yeah.
So it's just.
It surprises me that in the 1800s there were female police officers in America, which actually is a good surprise. I'm shockingly surprised in a good way.
Yeah, but I'm sure they still face
100%.
all the discrimination stereotypes that they do now.
Yeah. I mean, women are allowed to have jobs. What? That's crazy.
That's wild. How is that even legal?
I don't know. It's like you have a job. It's called clean the house.
Yeah. And provide for your husband.
Ew,
El Capitan.
That's disgusting. We started watching the show, I don't know, like a week ago.
Uh-huh.
And the story arcs for the main characters, the female officers, are really good.
Really well done.
Really well done. It has really good character development.
I like all of them, and that doesn't happen often.
Yeah. We still haven't gotten to know some of them as in depth as others, but I think that the show's hopefully going to kind of branch out and explore those other characters a little bit more as the show progresses.
Yeah.
To leave a little bit of just you don't know this person. You get let the audience get to know one character at a time, kind of, instead of just throwing all the information at you at one time. And
yeah, they did that really well with the show that I'm thinking of that did that the best for me was Orange Is the New Black.
Oh yeah.
They would do really hard character development one at a time of all the inmates.
Yeah, that's true. There's also a lot of characters to get through.
Right. So it was constantly character development.
Yeah, it was an endless variety of, and you can just add another character if you needed more information.
Right. But it was also so interesting because you could not like someone and have these like prejudgments of someone.
Mhm.
And then in the episode that featured that person, they would like play back the scenes where you were supposed to not like them, for
Yeah.
doing something, but then like you have all this empathy for them at the end because of what they've been through and their
Yeah.
backstory, and it all like makes sense at the end why they did what they did. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, 100%, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that show. That was a good and
So much
somewhat.
sex.
Was there a lot of sex?
Yeah.
No, there was more sex in Oz.
Okay, but there was so much queer sex.
You think there wasn't queer sex in Oz?
I don't know.
You know what Oz is about? Have you seen that one?
No.
It's like the male version of Orange is the New Black, but with just dudes.
Why did you watch that?
It's very good. HBO. It was all the nudity. I mean, they didn't show like all the nudity, but it showed some of it
When did you watch it?
when it came out.
1997. You watched it in 1997?
Mm, to when 97 to what?
There's 6 seasons.
Came out in 97? I remember when it was airing. So maybe I watched it in like
You
2000.
watched, what's the other one? Not Captain Benson. Who's the other man that she likes? The bald guy.
Stabler?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
watched Stabler have sex?
Oh yeah, he was in that show. It's actually a really interesting thing because there's a lot of crossover from Oz to SVU. Actor crossover. A lot of people that have played in Oz also played in SVU.
To 2003.
Okay, so I probably watched it from like 2000 to like 2003.
Okay, there's a theme of rape throughout the series, particularly of the prisoners. While the majority of it is kept off screen, few instances of on-screen rape are graphic and disturbing. Pervasive graphic male nudity throughout the series, quite possibly the most in any mainstream TV series. Full frontal and rear.
I don't remember full frontal. Rear, yeah.
Explicitly flashing anus to the camera.
Anus? Like an actual anus? I do not remember seeing an anus.
Prison guards having affair with prisoners. That sounds fun, Tiff. You're really getting off to some
It was a good show.
to some rape, sexual torture, sodomy.
All the sodomy.
Okay, I see why you would be.
That was a good show. I don't want to hear it. It was good. It was very well done. It was very well acted. And people still talk about it now.
That's misleading because I thought it was going to be a show about
Wizard of Oz?
the Wizard of Oz.
No.
I was like, why would I know that has lots of sex in it? All the munchkins getting down are
That's the Tin Man.
the Tin Man
Stripping.
having sex with the lion, the cowardly lion.
No.
Oh.
No, the Tin Man is not there. Neither is the lion or what's the straw man? The scarecrow. Scarecrow? No,
Straw man.
the straw man. It's not a scarecrow either.
It's a scarecrow.
It's a scarecrow?
Yeah.
But he's not a crow.
But he scares crows. That's why they're called scarecrows. They're not. Have you ever seen a large crow
No.
in the field?
That might be more effective though.
Yeah.
They should just make a giant crow out of
Or a
straw.
hawk.
Yeah. Because hawks eat crow.
No, but they can scare them off. Unless crows attack hawks. Sometimes
Like
they'll
in a
like get
group?
bold and then attack them to get them out of their territory.
And you would know about all bird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Because your mom birds and she made you
Oh, yeah.
learn about all things birds related.
Yeah, I picked up on it. She didn't force me.
Well,
It's
I mean,
interesting.
sometimes when you grow up, like with that around, you just pick it up.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm really excited about our stories today.
Me too.
Are you ready to dive in?
Yeah. Do you remember when we did Bison Besties, the episode?
Yeah.
And we told the listeners that we might have some more stories from Instagram user The Great Hike,
Yes.
aka Dana.
AKA Dana. Yeah.
He also can be found on Facebook and TikTok as The Great Hike.
And Twitter.
And Twitter.
If Twitter's still a thing.
It's X, but who cares?
We're going to call it Twitter because I refuse.
Who fucking cares? Go to Blue Sky. Anyway, he had previously submitted to us 4 separate stories, right?
Yep.
All animal related, all very interesting, but we could only fit a couple into the first one.
Yep.
So, yeah, now we're doing another one, which is called The Skunk, the Beast, and the Bloody Nose.
Ooh. I can't wait.
So I'm going to get into it.
Yeah, go in. Get into it.
Great. It had been a rough night already. Sleeping Giant Provincial Park, an isolated stretch of land jutting into Lake Superior, was supposed to be a peaceful escape. Instead, it was a chaotic long weekend, and I had made the mistake of setting up camp in the middle of a war zone of weekend warriors. Music, shouting, beer cans cracking open, it all bled together into the kind of night where you just hope exhaustion knocks you out before frustration does. Still, I wasn't too concerned. I was on the tip of the peninsula, and there weren't any bears down here. That meant I could take a few liberties, like leaving my food in a bag on the picnic table with a rock on top. The only real threat was birds, and I figured they'd wait until daylight to try anything. I was wrong. Somewhere deep in the night, a sound dragged me out of half sleep. Something scraping, something shifting. At first, I thought it was just one of the partiers fumbling around my campsite, probably looking for more beer. I called out a quick, annoyed, "Hey," but got no answer. And that's when I grabbed my headlamp and unzipped the tent. So, Tate,
Yeah.
what is it? What do you think?
That could be a bunch of different. I mean, I'm assuming it's not a human. Assuming it's some type of wild, like a squirrel, like a muskrat. What's a muskrat?
Not something that typically scratches at tents, I don't think, but good guess.
It's not a bear.
Okay,
Could it a cat?
sure.
Like I could guess it could be a big cat. He didn't say that there wasn't any big cats around,
Okay, fair.
so it could be a big cat.
Let's find
All
out.
right, let's do it.
And there it was. A skunk.
Oh my god, a skunk.
A skunk. A full-size, black and white, unapologetic skunk, determinedly dragging my food bag off into the darkness. For a moment, we locked eyes. A silent standoff in the beam of my headlight. Then I did what any rational, sleep-deprived camper would do. I lunged for the bag. The skunk let go, turned, and lifted its tail just enough to make its point clear. I backed off. It chomped down on the bag again and started dragging. I tried again. Same result. The tail lifted like a loaded gun, and I backpedaled, hands up like I was negotiating with a hostage taker. This ridiculous dance went on for another minute until I decided to grab a stick. Maybe a little poke would convince it to move along. Nope, it was fully committed. Finally, it gave up on the big prize, dove into the bag, yanked out a smaller package, and disappeared into the night. I checked what was left. The little bastard had made off with my best food, the good stuff I'd saved for this campsite. Defeated, but at least not reeking of skunk spray, I chalked it up as a loss and crawled back into my tent. But the night wasn't done with me yet. Tiv,
Yes.
have you ever had any encounters with skunks? Have you ever had a close call with getting sprayed? Tell me.
I'll tell you. Me personally,
Yes, you personally.
no.
Okay.
Our dogs used to get sprayed all the time. It was because we had a lab, and she's curious, and she likes to rub herself in. So, if you know anything about labs or certain dog breeds, one of their favorite things is to rub themselves into anything that smells bad,
Mm-hmm.
and then come in the house and jump on you and sit on the couch. And so our dog Komodo would get sprayed often
Mm-hmm.
because why not? And then I think my mom had to give her like tomato bath and stuff like that. But no, I have not personally been sprayed by a skunk, but we did have one living near us. How about you?
No, we've had a dog also get sprayed. And actually 2 dogs get sprayed, and it's not fun.
What did your parents do to get rid of the smell?
They just left him in the basement. No food, no water for days.
Oh, okay. Till the smell dissipated, and then there was a new smell called dead dog,
Great. Yeah.
emaciated mutt.
Yeah.
Okay, what did they used to do?
They literally did put him in the basement, though.
And then what?
I waited till the smell went away,
What?
I think.
That would take weeks.
No, not always.
You have to give him a bath.
I don't think they give him that.
They must have
I
given
don't
I'm
know.
gonna ask your
Yeah,
mom.
let's ask and find out.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
find
find
out.
out.
We'll
But I don't
we'll
think so.
we'll give you
I
guys
can't
a
picture them doing that.
we'll have to give you guys a post update on that question.
Okay, but the night wasn't done with me yet. Sometime later, could have been an hour, could have been 3, I woke up again. This time, something was bumping into my tent. I groggily unzipped the fly and stuck my head out, squinting into the darkness. And there it was. For a second, I didn't even register what I was looking at. Its eyes blinked at me, reflecting the dim light of the moon. Its body was stocky, muscular, a little too big for comfort. At first, I thought, this is beautiful. Then it lunged. Before I could react, its head smashed straight into my face. Pain exploded across my nose. I heard the crunch before I felt the hot rush of blood flooding my mouth and dripping down my chin. I reeled back into my tent, cursing and clutching my face, my head spinning. The metallic taste of blood filled my throat. My eyes watered as I tried to make sense of what had just happened. I wiped my nose, looked back out, still dazed, and saw the damn thing standing its ground. A deer. A huge, aggressive demon of a deer. Still half delirious, I tried to shoo it away, waving an arm and muttering something incoherent through my pulsing headache. It didn't care. Instead, it lunged again, this time at my crotch. Pure survival instinct took over. I twisted to the side, but not fast enough. The deer's head collided with my thigh, and a sharp cramp locked up my leg. Now I was limping, bleeding, and thoroughly pissed off. The thing backed up, ready for round 3. Nope, absolutely not, I growled. With a last burst of energy, I grabbed the first thing I could, a shoe, and threw it. That was enough. The deer finally turned and ran off into the woods, leaving me hunched over, swearing, and wiping blood from my nose. The next morning, I found the park warden and relayed the whole miserable story. He barely flinched. Oh yeah, he said, they're real aggressive here. Too many people feed them. I stared at him, still sore, still bleeding a little, my food supply permanently short of a gourmet treat. That would have been useful information yesterday, I muttered. He just shrugged. That was the last time I underestimated a skunk, or a deer, or a long weekend in Sleeping Giant Provincial Park.
Damn.
Wow.
That's wild. I didn't interrupt you. I wanted to several times, but I wanted to also find out what the hell was going on, and why he was getting bashed in the body, face, body,
By a deer.
everything. What? Yeah. I've never heard of a deer acting like that before.
No, it could have been rutting season or something, and they're more aggressive. They tend to be more aggressive
That's possible.
during mating season.
Rutting season. Ugh, deer are weird.
Yep.
Anyway, what'd you think of, well, first of all, gotta unpack the skunk.
Shirley Curly.
Shirley Curly. Um, so the skunk was, so, you're in a park. He's like, okay, I'm not going to protect my food because there's no bears. But we covered this in a couple episodes ago. Bears are not the only animal you have to worry about in the wild that's going to try to steal your food. Right?
Right, correct. But also, like, you figure that it's not going to be as bad if something else does because it probably won't get all of it, or it won't be as aggressive when it I don't know.
Okay.
I wouldn't be as worried.
Okay, but in this case, he could have been sprayed and smelled for days or ever.
Yeah, but also that skunk could have just come on its own accord anyway. Just
He could, yeah,
wandered
but
in.
if he had his food in like a bear box,
But he didn't.
but if he, yes, he did not. Correct.
Mhm.
If he did,
Uh-huh.
would the skunk be able to get in?
Who knows? Maybe they had the key.
Little skunk key and
Yeah,
its
they
little
have a
skunk
just
paws.
picture, like, a skunk janitor, and they have, like, the
Oh
whole
my
ring
god,
of keys, and they're, like, trying each bear
like a
box.
cartoon.
Yeah. Aw, damn it,
Oh
this
darn.
one's not
This is
working.
this is the right key. I forgot it at home.
I gotta mark these next time.
Well, that kind of reminds me of the Mr. Fox, the Fantastic Mr. Fox book,
More.
because the animals were like all talking and
Oh, yeah.
planning, and they were making a plan to steal all the goodies from the farmers.
Yeah.
Well, this skunk was in his little skunk den with his family and is planning a way to get the gourmet treats
Yeah. and knows
from
which ones
Dana.
they're gonna get. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a running list of like wants, needs, and must-haves.
Okay. And what do you think a skunk's want is?
I don't know what skunks eat. What do skunks eat?
Just in your imagination. I'm thinking
Okay,
pate.
pate, sure.
Yeah. Uh
Or sardines
oh yeah.
in a can.
A canned sardine. I think that a skunk would like a canned sardine.
I do too.
Or maybe
Or blue
like
cheese stuffed olive.
oh, that could be a good one. Yeah.
To put in their martini.
Of course, because they have to have their little martinis at
Yeah.
the end of a long day of
They're
scavenging.
classy as fuck. They're literally dressed up in a suit,
Yeah.
a black and white suit.
They're
Cheers to that,
classy as
motherfucker.
fuck. Classy ass skunks, man.
Classy.
Classy. And then the next part of his story was like that. So one of those things happening to somebody is
It's wild.
wild.
Yeah.
Two things happening in the same night.
Crazy.
Okay, so
Banana pants.
it's banana pants. The deer is attacking the tent. Where's the food now? Is the food maybe in the tent with him?
Yeah.
And that's why the deer is like, but like, what does he have that a deer might be interested in?
I think that he smells testosterone.
Yeah, you think it was a he deer,
Yeah.
a male deer, not a female
I think
deer?
it was a buck.
Okay.
And I think that smelled testosterone coming from Dana.
It's like emanating from the tent.
Yeah, well, because a male,
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Or it could be, female with high testosterone levels.
Yeah,
Great.
or estrogen. I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, all I'm saying is if it was during rutting season, maybe
Right.
they sensed another male presence
Oh.
and were like, I don't give a shit if you deer or human.
I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna get you. Get up, boy.
Yeah, because I mean, if it was a food-related thing, I don't know what humans have that deer like.
Cornflakes.
Cornflakes, bread?
I told you.
Because deer
A deer followed me for cornflakes.
oh, yeah. Cute.
Very cute.
Very
I think
cute.
they like sugar cubes too, like horses.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't like they're vegetarians, so it's not like they would be going after the sardines
No.
that the skunk already took. Yeah, maybe maybe you're right. Maybe like a cereal or like some kind of carbohydrate.
Something sweet.
Something sweet. Maybe there was cinnamon buns. Maybe he went to Cinnabon before he went camping.
Yeah.
And had cinnamon buns and
Or Dunkin' Donuts. There was leftover munchkins in the tent.
Oh,
He really wanted the jelly kind,
deer
which doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, why is that? Why did they take the jelly kind away from us?
It's the best one.
It's not fair.
It's really dumb.
And it's not nice.
No, get rid of the plain one.
Why do we need the plain one?
Why does anyone like that one?
No, or the powdered one where it gets your hands all messy.
Yeah, the chocolate one is good.
The chocolate one's good.
Blueberry one's good.
That's all right.
I like it.
Kind of tastes like medicine.
Okay, well, I like it.
I'm glad you like it. You can have all of them.
Great.
Yeah.
But the jelly one was the best.
The jelly one was
No contest.
the best. Well, I mean, I'm assuming that it costs more to make the jelly one because you have to stuff each one.
Oh, good for them.
I
Guess
know.
what? You're a corporation. You can handle it.
Yeah.
You're not a small business.
Well, everybody's doing stupid shit, does stupid shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's
Drives
get
me
into story
crazy.
number 2 because it's 4:45.
It drives me crazy. All right. Any final thoughts on the skunk, the beast, and the bloody nose?
No, I think we about covered it all. It was a really good one.
Sorry that you got a bloody nose, Dana, from a rabid deer.
That sounds really bad. And I hope you got rabies shots after.
Right?
Well, they didn't bite
Oh, yeah. They just bashed him.
Nothing would have, yeah.
Can you imagine waking up in the middle of the night to like getting pummeled, though?
Yeah. I mean, no.
Yeah. Yes, because I do that when you wake me up in the middle of the night.
So annoying.
Do not wake me up in the
Don't
middle
wake
of
me
the
up.
night. Don't wake me
You're
up.
waking me up constantly with your snoring.
I'm not doing that consciously. You
Yeah,
wake
I
me up
don't-
consciously.
Yeah, because if you're going to wake me up
with
with your snoring, you're also up.
I don't snore.
You do.
No.
You're you go like this. So you know how most people only snore when they're on their back?
No.
Okay, well, that's a thing.
Okay.
And this is you. So this is on your back.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then, so I'll roll you over to your side
Mhm.
thinking it'll end things.
Yeah.
Then you just start snoring.
What do you
And you're
mean?
like,
I'm having a very important conversation in my dream. Okay. Sorry.
That's a good one. Killing it.
Killing it.
Woo!
All right, on that note, let's read story number 2.
Let's dive right in.
Okay. Story number 2 is called Overpacked and Underprepared. We're going to link the articles in the show notes. This is a story that we got straight from the headlines, folks. Straight from the headlines.
Yay to the
And we developed it into a story. All right. I'll never forget the weekend we set out to conquer Mount Whitney, though I sometimes wish I could. It was supposed to be the kind of adventure you brag about over beers, but instead it became a Mr. Class. Mr. Class.
What's a Mr.
I
class?
don't know. It's only for misters.
Oh. Well, this one's only for masters.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It became it became a masterclass in hubris and bad decisions. Love hubris and bad decisions.
I just like that word, hubris.
Me too. It's a good one.
Yeah.
The plan was simple, at least on paper. Late Friday, hike to Lone Pine Lake to camp, and summit the next day. My hiking partner and I weren't seasoned mountaineers, far from it, but we figured that with enough gear, we could brute force our way through. So, armed with 5 gallons of water, 150 pounds of shiny, brand new equipment we'd barely taken out of its packaging, and the kind of naive optimism only beginners can muster, we set off. We hit the Mount Whitney trailhead at 6 p.m., already racing against daylight. Why are you starting a hike at 6 p.m.?
Are you sure it didn't say AM?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, it
I'm
says already
positive.
racing against daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems problematic.
Okay. They're not mountaineers.
But
They have,
even if you're not, like, that seems problematic.
yeah, that's 100%. Like they are not. They profess to be not mountaineers. They have all brand new equipment and 150-pound packs. That's a lot
That's a
of
lot of
weight.
yeah.
And they're setting out at 6 p.m. to hike in and set up camp. Like you should be at your campsite by that time so you could like set up,
Right.
eat, make dinner, whatever, chill.
Yeah.
This is already recipes for disaster. I love it. Okay. Our packs were ridiculous, each easily 3 times the weight we should have been carrying. Mine felt like I was dragging an anvil uphill. Within minutes, sweat was pouring down my back despite the cold mountain air. Every step was harder than the last, and by the time we'd covered a mere 2.7 miles, it was 3 a.m. What? So it took them 8 or 9 hours to walk a little under 3 miles? That's wild. I don't think either of us had the energy to speak by the time we decided to camp. Right there on the trail, nowhere near Lone Pine Lake. I collapsed using my sleeping pad, feet throbbing, and peeled off my boots to assess the damage. Blisters, big angry ones on both heels. Meanwhile, my partner wasn't faring any better. She had a splitting headache, something she later admitted might be linked to a medical condition involving a brain mass sensitive to barometric pressure. Barometric pressure. That tidbit of information was news to me. What? Okay.
Yes.
Have you ever worn brand new boots
Mm-hmm.
on a longish hiking?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah,
It's not fun.
It's not fun. I mean, they make shoes a lot better. Hiking boots or joggers, you know, like the trail runners, a lot better now. But and you don't, you know, might not have to work them in as aggressively. But I definitely remember having to work in boots like that.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. And it takes a while.
It does take a while, and the blisters hurt so.
Yeah.
And then imagining trying to put those
Okay.
back on
Oh, God. Do you remember
after.
the movie Wild?
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's what she did.
Oh, yeah.
And then her feet were, like, bloody and raw from the blisters,
Oh,
and she had to wrap
yeah.
them and was still doing the Pacific Crest Trail. She still finished in its entirety, which is
Badass.
wild.
She's a badass.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that does not sound like fun. And also having a medical condition that's sensitive to pressure. And I'm assuming barometric pressure is going up in elevation, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. So not fun.
Nope.
When I woke up a few hours later, it was to a scene out of a survival documentary. Snow everywhere. It had fallen overnight, coating the ground and filling our boots, which we'd stupidly left outside the tent. The inside of the tent was damp from condensation, and the temperature had dropped sharply. My fingers were stiff as I fumbled to lace up my now soaking boots. Oh my God, that's so much worse. We just talked about blisters.
Yeah.
Can you imagine then putting your feet with blisters into the
Ugh.
same boots that are now wet?
Oh God.
Because
They should just not.
they should, like, what's a good recipe to have, like, fungus,
Okay.
infection?
Yeah, I don't. Yep. We don't need to picture it all, but
We can
yes.
picture it all. Our listeners want to picture
Oh
all
no.
this
We got it.
nastiness.
We got it. We're all
M
good.
gets squeezy.
Keep going.
Oh, should I keep going or should I torture M more?
No, 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 no. We're good. Keep going.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
Panic started to creep in. The snow wasn't just inconvenient, it was dangerous. My partner's headache had worsened, and I couldn't stop shivering. We were both dehydrated despite carrying more water than we'd needed, but we hadn't even thought about bringing a water filter. The weight of our poor decisions began to settle in, heavier than our overstuffed packs. That's when we made the call. What call, do you ask? Using the SOS feature on my iPhone, we contacted the county search and rescue. It was a humbling moment. We were stranded less than 3 miles into the trail, not even halfway to Lone Pine Lake, and already needing professional help. Yikes. They needed more than professional help.
Yeah.
They needed like a guide to they needed to do better research, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe like ask.
Be less ambitious next time. Sorry.
Yeah,
Start out smaller.
start a little bit. I mean, you want to have the experience,
Yeah.
work your way up, talk to people. There are forums that will help you. I don't backpack like this, and even I know to bring a water purifier. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like survival 101. Water purifier. Hello.
Hello.
The SARS team arrived at 1:40 p.m., just over 3 hours after we hit the panic button. They were calm, professional, and mercifully free of judgment. While we rested in the sun and tried to dry our gear, they explained the basics we'd overlooked. The 10 essentials, the importance of proper training, and why overpacking is as dangerous as underpacking. A good Samaritan named Bridget showed up and offered to carry some of our absurd load. I'll never forget her kindness or the look on her face when she hoisted one of our packs and realized just how much we'd overpacked. The descent was grueling but manageable. With the SAR team's guidance, every step felt like a penance for our ignorance, our arrogance. Every step felt like a penance for our arrogance. We finally reached the trailhead at 3:15 p.m., utterly spent but incredibly grateful. Looking back, the lessons are as clear as the view we never got to see from the summit. Respect the mountain, train for the challenge, pack smart, not heavy, and always, always have the humility to recognize when you're out of your depths. Mount Whitney wasn't just a hike, it was a wake-up call. One I'll carry with me every time I step onto the trail. Dun dun dun. What'd you think?
I think they will not be making that mistake again. I think they will plan better, like you said, next time. And I think that we can all give them a little compassion because even though it was really stupid, really, really dumb, really, 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 really dumb, they
I mean, they
are
made the right
humans.
decision.
They're humans, and hiking is also like, how do you know how to do something if you've never done it before? Like,
Internet.
sure, but not everyone, like, did you do that with when you were having a child?
Did I look up how to have a child on the internet?
Or, like, how to do things that you didn't know how to do?
Yeah
No, you
and
didn't.
no. Yes and
We've
no.
had this conversation before.
Well, you did, so
Great.
I didn't need to.
But oh my god. Parenting 101.
Parenting well and have a partner who is really good at looking stuff up and then tells me what to do, and then I do it. What are the 10 essentials? Ready, go.
1. Have humility.
What?
2. Find grace. 3. Be compassionate. 4. Have empathy. 5. Be determined. 6. Have intuition. 7. Be guarded. 8. Cross borders. 9. Vision. 10. Yes, sir.
That was inspired.
Thank you.
But the answer I was looking for was not that.
Oh, so what were you looking for?
I will tell you.
Great.
10 essentials for hiking: navigation, sun protection, insulation, like a jacket, illumination, like a headlamp, first aid kit, fire, like matches, shelter, extra food, extra water, extra clothes. That's it.
I got most of them right.
Yeah, you were so close.
Yeah, I think that I got probably 9 out of the 10.
Yeah. If 9 out of the 10 were wrong.
So
Got
no,
one right.
I got 10 out of 10.
Got 1 out of 10.
What was it?
Compassion.
Thank you.
Did you even say compassion?
I did.
That's possible.
I did.
Mm,
And empathy.
and empathy. Any final thoughts on this story?
No, I liked it though. I thought it was very funny
I thought it was funny too.
in retrospect.
And of course, well, those are the best stories when it's funny in retrospect. If you have a story that is funny and the aftermath in retrospect, want to know. Want to know what it is.
So next on our agenda is trail mix.
Yay, Trumix.
So first on the list is Ghost by Sir Sly. Ghost feels like insomnia in song form. Restless, pulsing, a little haunted. Hence the ghost, you know?
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah. It's built on this hypnotic beat that keeps moving forward, even when the lyrics are circling around loss and self-destruction. There's a weight to it, but not in the way that drags. Instead, it floats, disconnected, untethered, like watching your own life play out from a distance. Sir Sly is great at making something electronic feel deeply human, and this track is proof. It's not just about ghosts in the literal sense, it's about the versions of ourselves we leave behind. Number 2 is She Lit a Fire by Lord Huron. I love Lord Huron. They have a lot of good songs, but this is probably my favorite. So this isn't a love song, it's a longing song. She Lit a Fire is built on that classic Lord Huron magic, dusty, wide open landscapes, a voice that sounds like it belongs to a wandering cowboy, and melodies that feel like they've always existed somewhere out in the wild. It's less about a person and more about a feeling, chasing something or someone that might not even be real anymore, but you're too deep in the journey to turn back. It's the kind of song that makes you want to leave town with no destination, just to see where the road takes you. 3 is Honey by Magic Man. Honey doesn't just play, it flashes, pulses, and sprints forward like it's got somewhere urgent to be. Magic Man has this rare ability to make indie rock feel enormous, and the song is all momentum and color. The synths hum like electricity, the chorus bursts open like a firework, and the whole thing feels like being young and reckless in a city that never sleeps. But there's something a little bittersweet underneath it all. Like the night is incredible, but morning is creeping up fast. That's all I've got for you.
Thank you, Em. I loved all of those choices.
Thank you. I love those songs.
You love those songs?
Yeah, all of them.
Oh, God.
Honey, especially. I really love that song. It has a lot of good like memories surrounding it
Aw.
of like driving like around at night and just like when I was younger and like feeling free and feeling like, you know, you don't have a destination in mind, but that doesn't matter.
Amazing. Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
that.
And you want to segue into trail etiquette and other shit?
Oh, yes.
What other
And
shit are you bringing
what
today?
other shit do we have today? Aggressive deer? Question mark?
Cool.
What
That's a
is
play off our
that?
story.
Yeah. So I never heard of a deer being this aggressive before, so I thought, why not cover it in our trail etiquette and other shit? Okay, so for the aggressive deer question mark section. Deer can become aggressive in certain situations, such as when they are protecting their young or during mating season, which
Called
is
it.
what you said.
Called it.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's called rutting season.
I don't like either of those words. It's
Mating
kind of like
or
the
sex
word
or rutting.
moist or
Jeez.
ew. Ugh. Rutting.
Uh,
Bleh.
Yeah,
So when can deer become more aggressive? In fawning season. So female deer or does can become aggressive during spring when their fawns are born. They may attack people, pets, or other animals that get too close to their young.
that makes sense. That's a
Uh,
lot of animals.
yeah, a lot of and
Like
bears,
bears.
like don't get between a bear and its babies because it will eat you. It'll rip your face off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And probably not eat you, just leave you there.
I don't know. I could eat you. It probably wouldn't taste that good, like McDonald's and
They have
fast
better
food.
things to eat.
Yeah.
They just would kill you,
We
maul
would
you.
we probably don't taste that good. I should ask a cannibal sometime.
Do you know any?
I no. I should meet a cannibal and then ask them.
Yeah, we should not meet a cannibal.
Yeah. What's
Instead of
better,
it.
beef or human?
Oh my god. All right, Hannibal Lecter.
Yes, I'm Hannibal Lecter. I'm going to skin you alive.
And
Okay.
eat you with what is the famous line with like Chianti and beans?
Yeah,
Something
something
like
like
that.
that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, the scene that I remember the most, the one where he is obsessed with the girl and he brings her to one of those shows where they have like where you get a big turkey leg.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Sorry.
First of all, Jim Carrey
Okay.
plays the main character and he's obsessively stalks this girl
Okay.
in a movie called
Jim Carrey stalker movie?
yeah,
Jim Carrey stalker movie. The cable guy?
The Cable Guy. Okay. So, in The Cable Guy, Jim Carrey does this scene where they're at one of those places that you watch a show and you get a turkey leg. And he puts the pizza, like the cheese from the pizza, on his face. And he turns to her and he says, Silence of the Lambs.
He's
Because it's
great.
supposed to be, skin. It's
Yeah,
supposed to like look like skin. I liked the original movie though. That was creepy as hell.
that was a good one.
That was a really they don't make movies like that anymore with like horror movies with the suspense and it's like everything nowadays is like jump scare, jump scare, jump scare. Ah,
I like a good thriller, psychological thriller.
yeah,
They
but
make
they
those.
don't make them like they used to.
Maybe.
They're rare, more rare than like older
Yeah.
psychological thrillers. There are some good ones. Anyway, back to deer
Mm-hmm.
and their rutting season. Male deer or bucks can become aggressive in fall during mating season. They may be territorial and on the move.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Food expectations. Now, I think this is kind of what the park ranger was telling him after the fact, after he got his nose broke.
Mm-hmm.
Deer that are used to being fed and have no fear of people may become aggressive. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
How to avoid aggressive encounters? Don't feed deer. I feel like that's simple. Like, don't feed
They're
wildlife.
so cute. I know, though.
I
It's
know.
hard.
All animals can be cute.
I know, you're not even supposed to feed ducks, technically.
No.
So I get it, but like also they're so cute. It's hard not
Yeah.
to feed them.
Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. Anyway. Now we sing. So don't feed deer, don't approach deer. Be especially cautious of deer with fawns. Keeps your pets. Keep your pets inside when there are deer in your yard. Install a fence. I mean, but like, okay, install a fence. That's kind of silly because deer can jump really high.
Right.
You would have to build a very tall fence.
Right.
And also, like, well, a fence for where? For just your yard? Or just a fence that you carry around with you all the time when you're hiking? You just hike with a giant fence.
I do.
Oh, you have your portable fence that you hike with?
Yes.
Oh.
Along with my portable porta potty. I carry
Oh.
both of those with me. And they weigh a lot. And then, but at least I can shit in the woods undisturbed. And
Fenced in.
fenced in. Yeah. I put a barricade around it, and then I do my business.
Oh my God. Well, you sound like our folks from story number 2 who overpack and underprepare. Well, you actually, that would be pretty overprepared and
Yeah,
overpacked.
but overpacked.
Well, I'm glad that you have your portable fence. You can find our link for portable fences in our bio, so everyone can have their own portable fence. This last one kind of goes hand in hand with like don't approach deer, but observe deer from a distance, preferably from inside a vehicle or a structure. But I don't know. I got this off a website. That one's kind of silly. Um, how to identify aggressive deer? Deer may bob their head while staring at potential threats. So, like, you know what that means? Like duck and weave, like a boxer,
Mm-hmm.
or like you're at a club and you're just bopping to the music.
Kangaroo jack.
Like kangaroo jack, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if a deer is like bopping their head, like
It
they're
looks
at a
like
rave,
kangaroo.
yeah, then you know they are potential threats.
Cool.
Okay.
I've never viewed a deer as a potential threat.
No,
So
me neither.
never had a deer bob its head at me.
But Dana got his nose smushed in
I
and
know.
bloody all over the place.
But
So
I've only had deer ever run away from me.
yeah,
I've
or
never.
I've hit them with my car, not intentionally. Yeah, and it's been a while.
What else did you hit with your car?
I don't know, possums,
No, not the one I'm
children,
thinking. Children?
all the time.
Oh my god.
You get 10 points.
Heard. Oh. No, I was thinking of the eagle that you hit. Or
Oh
the,
my
the hawk.
God.
The hawk.
Yes, the red-tailed hawk I did. I felt bad about that one. Not about the kids, though. Deer may display body language such as ear dropping, hard looks, and sidling. So, drooping their ears, looking at you. You know, like when somebody's giving you the evil eye,
The stink eye.
the stank eye. If they're giving you the stank eye, back away slowly.
Kick them in their face.
I don't think you should kick. If they have horns, you're in trouble. This deer, I don't think had horns because he would have been impaled.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I think it was either a young deer that didn't have horns yet or, um, one of those. Anyway, that is what I have for you for deer, safety, dealing with aggressive deer in the wild, or, just from the comfortable spot in your car where you're peacefully watching them and not feeding them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Now you know. Knowing is
Half the battle.
half the battle.
Or the full battle.
Could be.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. So, final thoughts?
I now know what to do should an angry deer be bobbing.
Okay.
So if it be bobbing,
If it be bobbing,
then be weaving.
be weaving and bobbing.
No.
So if it bobs, you weave.
No. If it bob, we weave.
Right.
We weave.
We weave.
And we leave.
And we leave. We weave.
We weave. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's perfect.
Great.
My final thoughts are to make sure never to overpack and always make sure I have what I need. Pack small and smart, but bring what you need.
And do research before you
And do research.
go out on a trail.
Yeah, I mean, there's people online you can contact that do this all the time. And this community is so nice and helpful. There's people out there that if you're like, hey, I'm trying to do this thing, I need help, what should I do? You'll find somebody that is more than willing to give you like a guiding hand or whatever. So if anybody out there is thinking of doing this and never has done it before, I hope that you have heeded our warning. And from the story, heeded their warning. Don't overpack and don't be underprepared.
Good comments.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As always, we'll have links in our show notes for the 2 stories that we recorded. And as always, check out our Patreon where we have a lot of bonus episodes, a lot of bonus songs and playlists. If you want to continue listening to some good music, we've got that there. Also, check out our merch store where we have lots of things up for sale. All things Fall Summit, all things all day.
All things all day.
All things all day.
All things all year.
All things all year. But buy something, even if it's a sticker.
Yeah.
Put it on your laptop.
It'll help us keep making the show and keep bringing all of you guys the stories that you love.
Exactly.
I'm assuming you love them all.
You must.
You must. You
It's a
literally
requirement.
have no other choice.
Right. So,
obviously. But thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. So that's it from us crazy people here at Fall Summit.
Where every mountain is just one more almost there.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. And if you didn't enjoy it, well, maybe that's your epic fail for the week.
Hey, hey.
That was a really weak hee-hee.
Hey, hey, hey.
No, it's more like a tee-hee.
Tee-hee-hee.
There
like that.
Wow.
There you go.
That was a lot.
You're welcome.
And if you've got any questions, stories, or trail fails of your own, feel free, in fact, encouraged to hit us up. Email us at fallsummit.pod@gmail.com or fallsummit.pod on Instagram, and check out our YouTube page where we have all of our recordings, and you can listen to them there and comment and leave us suggestions.
Yeah. And we started making clips for the TikTokers.
Yeah.
The Ticker Talker.
We're still talking about Blue Sky.
Oh, yeah. And we also have stuff over on Blue Sky. So there's lots of places to find us, follow us, give us support, give us love.
Love.
Yeah.
Coming up on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, huh?
Is a fake holiday. It's a gimmick.
Yeah. You know what I'm going to get you for Valentine's Day?
Air.
Yeah. I was going to get you a bottle of water, but if you just want air, I can just do that.
I want a bottle of, I want martini olives. So we can make more martinis.
Okay. So
because we're out.
I'll get you martini olives for Valentine's
Because what am I supposed to do today? When I want one.
You can't have one.
Right.
Sorry.
That's a problem.
Oh, I feel so bad for you not.
Yeah. We'll be back next week with more tales of misadventures and questionable decisions. Until then, happy trails. And remember, if it feels like you've reached the top, you probably haven't. See you out there.